Walk into any decent Japanese restaurant, order the charcoal grilled eel bowl, and you are looking at a bill of at least $500. The fat bubbles over the heat, the sweet soy glaze caramelizes into the meat, and you feel like you are eating a true luxury ingredient. But then you walk into a local supermarket, head to the canned goods aisle, and find stacks of roasted eel for just $40. Sometimes you can even grab a 3-pack for under $100. Both products are legally labeled as eel. Both the tin and the wooden bento box are filled with fish meat. So exactly what accounts for a 12 times difference in price? The answer comes down to a breeding bottleneck we haven't solved, an extreme food engineering trick, and a 5-year labeling fraud. To understand this massive price gap, we have to look past the menu and see exactly how biology and industry manipulate our perception of value. That $500 restaurant meal is made from the Japanese eel. And the reason it costs so much comes down to one stubborn fact. Humans have never figured out how to completely breed this specific species in captivity. Because we can't breed them, every single premium eel you eat starts out as a wild-caught larva. Fishermen brave freezing river mouths in the dead of winter to net these tiny, transparent glass eels. At the height of the season, a single larva can cost several $100s, making it an incredibly expensive resource in the seafood industry. This chart shows the economics of keeping those larvae alive. You have a huge initial block just for acquiring the wild catch, and then the costs compound over time. Farmers pay for highly specialized feed, temperature-controlled water, and round-the-clock care for years before the fish ever reaches a chef's cutting board. But does the origin of the fish actually matter to the final taste? A few years ago, a premium wholesaler in Japan was caught in a labeling fraud. For 5 straight years, they secretly imported cheaper Chinese-raised eels and sold them as domestic Japanese fish at top-tier luxury prices. Over those 5 years, chefs and food critics continued to line up for these meals. They praised the fine texture and sweet fat, completely unaware they were eating the cheaper imports. The luxury price tag comes entirely from the species' unique genetic fat content and the intensive, years-long farming process required to rear them. Biology dictates the value, regardless of the geographical sticker on the box. Now let's look at the $40 supermarket tin. Open it up and you are eating an entirely different biological species, the conger pike or sea eel. Unlike the fragile Japanese eel, sea eels are fierce ocean predators, and they are incredibly abundant. Commercial boats catch them by the thousands in massive wild nets, dropping their wholesale costs down to pennies per pound. But they have a major biological flaw. The meat is coarse, and it is packed with thousands of tiny needle-like bones. If you tried to eat one straight off the grill, you would be picking sharp splinters out of your throat all night. To make this cheap fish edible, factories step in. First, they chop the eel into blocks and flash fry it to hold the shape. Then they drown the meat in a heavy, highly seasoned mix of soy sauce, sugar, and 5-spice to mask any wild, fishy flavor. Finally, they seal the tins and load them into a massive industrial pressure cooker called an autoclave, blasting them with extreme heat. Under that pressure, a physical change happens. Those sharp little bones physically melt and soften, becoming entirely chewable. The soft texture and rich flavor in the $40 tin are the results of extreme industrial food engineering. This biological rule applies to every eel you eat. Take the star eel. It naturally holds much less fat, making the meat tight and delicate, which is why chefs use it almost exclusively for elegant nigiri sushi. Or look at the giant mottled eel. Its thick, collagen-rich skin is incredibly chewy. While you wouldn't grill it, that exact biological makeup makes it well-suited for rich, long-simmering medicinal stews. A market price doesn't tell you if a food is real or fake. The price tag is just a receipt for the specific journey required to bring that animal to your plate. The $500 restaurant bowl is a result of biological patience, artisanship, and years of captive rearing. The $40 supermarket can is a result of industrial mass capture and high-pressure food science solving a biological flaw. Whether paying $40 or $500, you are paying the correct price for the human intervention required to conquer that specific animal's biology.